I would like you to do one thing for me right now. I would like you to do one thing. Just pay attention real quick. What I want you to do is not to think about the purple elephant. Don't think about the purple elephant that I'm talking about. Don't think about it. Resist the purple elephant that I'm putting into your mind right now, okay? Did that work? Did it work? Did you not think about the purple elephant that I keep mentioning over and over and over again? I venture to guess that you were thinking about the purple elephant. What in the heck does that have to do with anything? Well, resistance is a real thing. And resistance only feeds the things that you don't want to grow. And listen, man, as in all these videos, I'm preaching to the choir. This is a daily practice for me. Remembering, Rob, when you are resisting something so hard, you are just reinforcing yourself to focus on it because you're fighting against it. Because in a scientific sort of way, looking at it, you can't beat energy with energy. So me putting energy into something by telling myself not to think about it or not to do it is not getting rid of it. It's actually making it stronger. Now it's solidifying. Boy, Rob really loves to think about this thing. It's like think of it this way, for a social media algorithm, you're fed some videos that make you angry and get you all fired up and triggered and make your blood pressure rise. And you watch the video and you get fired up and you're like, oh, I don't like the way I feel, but I kind of like the way I feel. So social media doesn't know whether or not you hated the video or you loved it. It just knows that you watched it. And it knows it's going to show you another one and show you another one and show you another one. And since you were triggered the first time by it, the other ones are also going to trigger you. So you're probably going to stop on those ones too. You've got to stop on those videos because you're triggered by them. They grab your attention immediately. Just like those thoughts that we resist, they grab our attention immediately because something we don't want, we tend to put a lot of attention onto. So the social media videos, what do you got to do? You got to go to, on YouTube at least, you click the little button and you say, not interested. And then it's like, oh, okay. He may have looked at it, but he's actually not interested in watching it. That's what we have to do with our minds. We have to tell our minds we're not interested in it by looking at other things other than it, by thinking about other things than the purple elephant. And the purple elephant could be a replacement for anything that you don't want to think about, that you find yourself swimming around in and unable to avoid, and it maybe consumes your life. Maybe it's really dragging you down, but you can't seem to stop doing it, thinking about it, giving into it. Refocusing your attention is what you must do. You must refocus your attention because resisting doesn't work. So apply that to your day today. Remember, resisting the thing doesn't work. Refocusing your attention does. The purple elephant, I'm just going to think about something else. I'm going to refocus my attention on something else. I'm going to go to scripture. I'm going to go to the Bible. You know, in the Bible, it says to pray ceaselessly, right? To never stop praying. Why? Because if I'm mentally and verbally doing something, it's very hard for me to think about anything else. I mean, there's other reasons outside of just that. The power of prayer is real, and that really is something that is, for any Christian, something we should be doing on a daily basis, multiple times a day, if not ceaselessly, which seems like a lot. It seems hard to do, but any habit that we feed will grow. So if I'm thinking about something and I'm praying, I'm speaking about something, then I can't think about other things. So if I'm talking right now, I'm talking about this, I'm no longer thinking about the purple elephant. And if it does pop up back here, I just keep talking about something else. I keep thinking about something else, and the purple elephant kind of drifts off into the purple elephant jungle. So why is this so important? Because in life, we resist so many things that we don't want, and we don't even realize that by resisting, we are actually feeding the thing, making it bigger, making it seem more important, giving it significance, giving it attention, and we're actually making things worse by resisting the thing. I am such a victim of this. and I don't like to victimize myself, but I've been a victim of this for much of my life. And if we're not paying attention, we don't notice it, right? I talk a lot about awareness and perspective, and awareness is everything, because we have to be aware of what we're doing in order to change our perspective, to change our actions, to change our thoughts, to change the way we look at the world. So I want to go biblically for a second, because I don't want to stay on here too long. I want to give a short, concise message and hopefully bless you with it today, that it helps your day. In the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 8, it says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Oh, it's so good. Because you might think like, well, this thing that I've been resisting, I don't want it. So I can't stop thinking about it. What else would I think about? We have to, number one, be fully aware that we have ownership over our minds. I can't necessarily control my thoughts, right, as they come in, but I can reject them and accept them. And I can, by rejecting certain thoughts, and when I say reject, that could be resisting, right? So by not entertaining certain thoughts, I'm going to change the algorithm in my brain, just like you change the algorithm in social media. And the algorithm is going to lean towards what I pay attention to, what I permit and I feed, right? Think about that. Your news feed, your feed on social media, right? It's feeding you information, just like your thoughts are feeding you. Your mind is feeding you thoughts, and it pays attention to what you entertain. It's very interesting how our minds and a social media algorithm are similarities there. It makes me think about the simulation theory and many other things that I'm not going to get into right now, because that's a rabbit hole. But it's really interesting. Is that not super interesting? Our feed in our mind builds a pattern of what we entertain. And that's why when you find yourself, when you're around somebody who thinks negatively, they're not trying to. They've built a solid pattern of negative thinking that their brain just thinks that's what they want. Your brain, it seems like your brain, that algorithm doesn't know the difference. Just like the social media algorithm doesn't know the difference whether you don't like the thing or you like the thing. It keeps feeding it to you because you keep unwillingly even asking for it. Unknowingly, you're asking for something you don't want. So redirecting our thinking towards what is good is so good. So if you are stuck in a place of, I don't want to think this anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, number one, you've got to change your situation, change your surroundings, change the setting that you're in. That helps. But listen to what Paul said. Think about what is right, pure, lovely, admirable, anything excellent or praiseworthy. Think about those things. So I would challenge you right now. If you're like, I don't know what those things are, I'd make a list, sit down and write it out, pray about it and write it out. Write down what is lovely. Oh, my wife is very lovely. I love a nice dewy meadow. That's lovely. A beautiful meal, sunset, whatever. These things are lovely. What is admirable? I love, things are admirable. Doing the right thing, putting the shopping cart back, giving somebody a hug, writing a nice text message to somebody. I'm just off the cuff, just thinking here. You can come up with so many things if you put the time into this and redirect your thinking towards those things. Also, why does prayer work? Well, number one, because prayer is good. I don't pray about bad things. I'm not even going to entertain what a bad prayer would be. I'm not even going to entertain it. But you could see what a bad prayer would be. It would be thinking negatively. It would be praying bad things for people, praying bad things for yourself, whatever that might be. That's not what prayer to God is. Maybe if you're praying to Satan or something, I don't know, you would make bad prayers. I guess that's maybe what like Satanists do. They make bad prayers, I guess. It's like the reverse. That's what it would be. It would be the anti of what you do when you pray to God. So pray about good things, because prayer to God is always good. So praying ceaselessly would be always thinking about good things, because when I pray, I'm thinking about the best things for people. And that's a good thing to think about. Okay? So redirecting our thinking towards what is good. Now, the worrying, the anxiety, I love in the Bible, it also covers this too, because in Matthew 6:27 in the New International Version, which, by the way, I don't have that memorized. It's written, it's in front of me. I'm looking at it. Don't think I'm like a Bible scholar that I know the different translations. But it says in Matthew 6:27, can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? So resisting is also worrying, because worrying is resisting. I'm worrying about something, so I'm thinking about how I don't want it to happen. I'm resisting it. And he says, can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? That's so good for somebody who has worried a lot in their life. There's a great book, one of my favorite books, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. It's back here somewhere. It's a classic. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. We spend so much time worrying about what's going to happen instead of just living. Because living in the present moment, that's where the Holy Spirit is. That's where all good things are, right here in the present. Whether you're a Buddhist or you're a Christian, whatever, the present moment is the place to be. Even just a realist, right? It's like the present moment's the place to be. Living in the past or the future doesn't really have much of a benefit. I mean, for planning and things like that, it can, right? Or for reflecting, it certainly can. It certainly has its benefits, but you get what I'm saying. Then in Luke 12:25, it says, and which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to your span of life? Which is interesting. In two different verses, it talks about worrying, adding a single hour, or anxiety. By having anxiety, can add a single hour to your span of life? And no, the answer is no. You can't. By worrying and by being anxious about things, it does not add any time to your life. It's actually taking time away from you. So that is that resistance that we're talking about. So the next time you catch yourself worrying, you catch yourself in anxiety, you catch yourself resisting, understand that's not that's not how we're created to think. We are not created to think that way. Think about the good things. What is lovely, what is admirable, what is excellent, what is peace, what is praiseworthy. It's just so foundationally good. It's just so foundationally simple. And I want to, as I come to the close of this, like I said, I didn't want to ramble on about this, but I wanted to make a solid point to renew our minds. Okay. The renewal of our minds is everything. So I wanted to go, let's see here. Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And I think about that. That is like, number one, I pray, God, renew my mind. Give me your thoughts, Lord. I want to think the way that you do. I want to see the world the way that you do. Renew my mind in that way. But also renewing my mind. Transformation does not come from resisting the things of the world that you don't want, but by renewing your focus and attention on God. And by doing that, it's this free will that we have. You actively can choose what you choose to continue. In given moments, you can't necessarily say, I'm going to have this thought, not this thought. Like, thoughts come in, but you can accept them or you can let them pass, right? And so renewing your mind is that practice. It's a habit, and it's so easily lost on us because we have 80,000 thoughts a day. Over 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts over and over and over again every single day. To renew my mind, I have to actively choose better thoughts. I have to actually actively choose to have better thoughts come in. And I have to ask God to help me in that, because in our humanness, it's really hard for me to do that just in my humanness. I need help from the Lord to renew my mind. So I want to close out in prayer today. I hope this blessed you today, because this is such a important message. I was going to say good. It's such a good message for me. So hopefully it's a good message for you too. God, I pray today, anybody watching or listening, that we refocus our attention right now. If we're resisting something, if we are fearful about something, if we are worrying, if we have anxiety about something, Lord, I pray that you reach into our minds and you remind us to change how we think, to renew our mind. Remind us to renew our mind on the good things, on prayer, praying to you, on thinking of the good things in life, of thinking of blessings in our lives, of reminding ourselves what is praiseworthy, what is good, what is lovely, what is admirable. Who would I be if I thought this way all the time? Give me a vision for who we would be if we thought this way all the time. Give us a vision for who you want us to be when you renew our mind, Lord. So I pray right now that we have the awareness, we have the perspective shift, and we have the courage to choose to change our thoughts, to replace our thoughts, not to resist them, but to replace them and choose a thought higher. I pray that you, especially in times of anxiety, worry, stress, we're aware of where we are. We can pause and we can pray and thank you and ask you in your holiness, in your righteousness, in your sovereignty to help us pray, put our minds on you, rest our attention on you, because Lord, you say that you will lead us next to still waters. I want us just to feel what it's like to rest next to still waters. I want us to feel what it's like for us to rest in the meadows. Just to rest with you, Lord. I want to feel that rest. To lay down in green pastures with you. That rest, in that rest, there's no worrying, there's no anxiety, there's no fear, there's nothing to resist. There's just enjoying your presence, God. So I pray, I declare that over our lives that we can experience that today in all of its fullness. In your mighty name, Jesus. Amen. I hope this blessed you today. I really hope that, especially if you watch this right now and you're not necessarily a Christian and you might like what I'm saying, but you don't like all of the Christian stuff with it. I just want to thank you for listening and just hearing me out. And I pray that you're inspired today to do better with your life. And I also encourage anybody who's still watching, reach out to me, talk to me. I'd love to chat. I'd love to, if you agree, if you disagree, if you just want to talk about it, like I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to have that conversation, because as we know, even more so now in our world, that when we don't have conversations, things fall apart. So that dialogue is so important. So I pray for good dialogue for anybody watching or listening. Just know that in me, this was not always me. I want you to know that this was not always me. I was the opposite of this now. What I am now, I would say that's the opposite, that I didn't necessarily believe in all the things that I talk about. And my mind has been renewed and continues to be renewed. And I am so grateful for that. I'm so blessed by that, because my life has been changed through all of it, through Jesus, through the acceptance, understanding, and belief of Jesus, him dying on the cross and being resurrected and saving us. And I'll go into that another time. But I just want you to know, like, that it's changed my life. And it doesn't mean that I'm forcing that on you. I'm just telling you how I ended up at the place I'm at now. This is the unstuck movement, right? We all should desire to be unstuck. And we all should desire breakthrough in our life. And I know that looks different for all of us, but I pray that you find that in your life. And I'll catch you guys. I was going to make a short video. Here we are, 18 minutes in. It is what it is. Have a great day.